Hi guys, Chris here again from Rock of Cause. In this video I'm basically going to show you the cards you can find in all the GvE Part 2 boosters. So I'm going to get straight into it because it's going to be quite a long one. The first one is SP Unmanage. So being a red unit, when she enters she deals 200 damage. I'm also rolling a 5, you can turn all the elements in play red, which can really bog down your opponent. And if you roll a 6 you can play a red battle card for free from your hand, which is also a very nice thing to have as a backup. Then we've got Sane and the Holy Mage. When she enters you draw a card. If you roll a 5, she also deals 300 damage to any unit in play, and then number 6 can also prevent all damage any one unit deals this turn, which is also very useful. Moving up is Naya the Grim Mage. When she enters, your opponent must discard a card. Rolling a 5 in battle basically renders any one unit's attack power is 0, and rolling a 6 basically means they discard 2 cards. Moving on to the Green Mage is Ulcer. So when she enters, any one unit gains plus 200 attack, rolling a 5. This and another unit both get 100 attack this turn, and also 6 will prevent all damage to one unit in battle this turn. Finally, the last of the Mage Sisters is Rhea the Glyph Mage. So when she enters, you get to look at the top card of the opponent. When you roll a 5, you look at their hand. Even when you roll a 6, your unit's damage cannot be prevented this battle, which is pretty cool if you're against a control deck. Moving on to the normal cards now, we've got Knight of the Keep, which was special designed by Super Gamer 96. Whenever it defends, it gains an extra 100 attack, and then if you roll a 6, defends, it gains 100 HP. Roll a 6, it gets an extra 100 attack. Then we've got Kryllizian Spirit Vest, which is from Keith, TCG and other random things. Basically, it's an action card. You can return any Kryllizians from your consume pile back into play, so any that have died can all come back to life. Then we've got another one, which is Plague Chalice by someone called Rob Adams. Basically, it's a battle card, and you can choose any one unit in play. If that unit dies this battle, your opponent loses HP equal to that unit's health. So that's a nice little trap card if your opponent is planning on killing off a big creature you actually have in play. Then we've got Prime Productions. Basically, it's a weapon that can be attached. You can have 2 copies of this weapon equipped to a unit. If there's only one unit, it gains 100 attack. But then if it has 2 copies, it basically gains 500 attack because it gains 250 from each weapon. Then we've got a card from Cards at Home. Basically, as long as you've got a Rainish unit card in play, this unit also gains an additional 100 attack and HP. Rolling a 6 will give it another 100 HP and attack. So for 3 elements, it can actually become a 500 unit. Now, a Relic, the Inconvenient Boulder, basically clogs up your opponent's terrain. It doesn't really do much, but it's good if you like to control your opponent's terrain cards. So if you're playing white or green, I suppose you could have that in a deck. Then you've got the Golden Kryllizian, one of every element. All of your other Kryllizians gain 100 attack boost while this unit is in play. Also it's a 500, which means as long as you can get your elements out, this can actually be an early threat, depending on how you play your terrain. When we've got Border Defenders, a regular defending unit, basically it can't attack, but it's a 100 unit, and it never misses. Nice little one if early game, if you're playing a mono white deck especially. Moving on to one of the new Kryllizians is an Aero Kryllizian. Basically it costs 1 white to get in, you can destroy it to generate an extra white element, very similar to the ones you see in GvE Part 1, but for the white element instead of the other colours. Next up, we've got Curious Sheep. Now this is more of a troll rare. It's a 1 element, 100 units. It never misses, so in a way it's kind of bad, but it's also pretty good at the same time. If you pull this, be sure to upload a video and have a few laughs. Then we've got Ransack. Basically it's 4 reds or blacks, and then you get to gain control of any one relic or weapon in play. So again, yeah, that's if you're in a black or red control deck. Yeah, it's really useful if you're playing against some powerful weapons. Then you've got Diamond in the Rough. It's an action card, it costs no elements, and basically you can use it to generate a white or blue element. So again, this would be good in white or blue decks, or maybe even like a Tricolour Plus. When we've got Siege Firing Line, a new red burn card, it deals 100 damage to all attacking units, especially good if your opponent is attacking with lots of weaker units like Kryllizians and Scrats. Next up, we've got the Smokescreen. This basically tells you and your opponent that there's no ranged damage pool in battle, so any damage that would be dealt in ranged is now just dealt in regular damage pool. So it's going to be playing against like Deck of Honor, for example. Next up is the Elemental Eye Crystals. This is a free-to-play wonder. If you've got all of the Mage Sisters out, then those units cannot be damaged or targeted. So it's good if you can manage your terrain cards. You're going to need some rare terrains just to get this out in play. Well, the units, should I say. You got Strong Krylisian and New Krylisian for this set. 1 green, you can destroy it to give any one unit gain to give them a 200 attack boost for this turn. Which is pretty good in the green deck of wilds, I suppose. Then we've got a Swamp Krylisian for 1 blue. You can destroy this unit to generate 1 temporary blue element. Again, this is like the Aero Krylisian, it's a GvE Part 2 specific card, similar to the ones found in Part 1. Next up, we've got the Scavenging Krylisian. Now this is a bit of a stronger one, that costs 2 elements instead of 1. You can destroy it at any time to draw a card, and it's also a 400/400 body. However, if you roll a 2, obviously, it loses 100 attack and HP. Then we've got the Deadly Krylisian. Again, another special one. If you destroy it, your opponent discards a card. It costs 1 black element to get out. And if you roll a 2, it loses 100 attack power. Then we've got another red Burny type card. It's a relic, 3 red elements. When it enters, you put 3 counters on it, and whenever you charge your core, you can remove a counter. When the last is removed, you can destroy the stack what this relic is on. You can also play it on opponent's terrain to get rid of a full terrain. A regular 2 white relic, placed on one of your terrain cards just to gain a 200 HP boost. Next up, we've got Extinction, which is a rare action card. 3 green, 3 red, destroy all units of any one unit type. Both players reveal the cards in their hands and discard all units with the same type. So very good, that's a very good card. Then we've got Countdown to Destruction, which is another wonder. Again, you put 5 charges on this wonder. Whenever you charge your core, you remove a counter off, and then when the last charge is removed, you destroy all units, relics, weapons, and wonders which are currently in play. So it's in the name, really. Then we've got Volatile Krylisian, 1 red. Destroy it at any time on your turn to deal 200 damage anywhere you like. That can go to an enemy core or an enemy unit. Rolling a 2 also makes it lose 100 HP. Next up we've got a Bog Monster. Costs 1 blue element. It's a regular common unit basically. 200/200. 1 in 6 chance of it missing in combat. Nothing special about this card, but I quite like the artwork on it. Then next up, we've got Underground Discharge. If you're playing against Worm deck, then basically all the burrowed units are turned face up so that you can actually target them. Nice little card, but I can't see you being in play all that much. Next up is another red burn card, a Flare, a standard 1 red element to deal 200 damage anywhere you like. The cool thing is this is also a response card as well, so you can play it on your opponent's turn whenever they play an action or battle card. Next up is Horns of the Night for a mix of black and blue. It's an action card and your opponent discards 2 cards. Can't be that hard to play, and especially if you get your elements early on, yeah, it's not a bad card at all. Next up is a rare wonder called the Observatory. Costs 5 elements to get out into play, and then whenever your opponent draws a card, that player must show you that card. So yeah, it's very simple, but it's very effective. Coming up next is the Wild Cerberus. It's a new unit, a new power unit, rare one. Basically it's 700/600. If you roll a 5, it gains an extra 100 attack. If you roll a 6, all of your units gain 100 attack this turn, so it's quite a powerful card. Then it's another wonder, Sacrificial Chamber for 4 elements. You can sacrifice any unit on your turn to draw cards equal to the sacrificed unit's total play cost. So it depends how you're playing it. You know, I suppose this could work if you're winning or losing, just to how the bot goes. Next up is Duplication for 3 elements. It's a response card, and basically you can copy any action or battle card and choose new targets for your copy. Again, this is just in the name. You can duplicate a card what an opponent plays against you. Next up is a relic called Rickety Bridge for 3 different coloured elements. Your units can now travel to this terrain regardless of how far away they are from it. Usually units can only travel once to the adjacent terrain, but if you've got this relic on, they can travel from afar, from one side of the board to the other. Then we've got Campfire. It's another relic for 3 different colours. Whenever a unit is placed or moved onto this stack, you may draw a card. So that goes for moving a unit onto it or playing a unit card for the first time. You get to draw a card. Nice little card. Then you've got Giant Spider, an uncommon unit. Rolling a 6, it gains 100 attack in this battle, should I say. However, it does have a 1 in 3 chance of missing in battle. So it's easy to get out, but it can fail at sometimes. Then you've got another common unit called the Young Dragon, 2 elements for a 200-300. It's got a 1 in 3 chance of missing, but if you're struggling to fill that blue-red deck, it's a suitable card, I suppose. Then we've got another rare action card coming called Mind Wreck, a black and a red. Very simple, look at your opponent's hand and choose a card. Your opponent discards it. So very early, you can get this out on turn 3, I believe. Even turn 2 if you're lucky. Then we've got a weapon called Royal Blades. This is actually Kira's weapon. Basically, it's an uncommon one, and the unit gains 300 attack. It's uncommon because the Hero Blade is also 2 elements, and it only gives the unit 200 attack. Then we've got another unit called the Stalking Crustacean for 4 blue elements. It's common, it's a 400-400 body, however it's got a 1 in 3 chance of missing. So again, it's quite powerful, but it does have more of a tendency to actually miss in a battle. Next up is a trap called the Oilfire Trap. It's a relic. You can only destroy this relic when your enemy chooses defenders. You can destroy it to deal 300 damage to 1 defending unit. So it's very similar to the Icy Trap, which is in the deck of honor, but it's against defending units. Next up is another trap, the white version called the Rockfall Trap. You can only destroy it when your enemy chooses attackers, and then when you destroy it, it deals 100 damage to all attacking units. Mixing this with Siege Firing Line is a very good combo. And then next up, you've got Hunting Scrat. So it's got the ambush ability, meaning you can play it anytime during battle before the actual damage is dished out. And it's a 300-100 body, and it's got a 1 in 3 chance of missing. So it's a common Scrat, but it's good to fill them Scrat decks. Got another Scrat coming called the Daytime Scrat, yellow, white and green elements. Again, it's got ambush, it's a 300-400 body, and a 1 in 3 chance of missing. So it costs more element, but obviously you've got a greater statistic and 400 on a Scrat is also quite high. Then we've got a Carnivorous Worm, costs quite a few elements to get out. It's a 600-500 unit. When it enters, it burrows, so it can't be targeted until your next turn. Rolling a 3 to a 5 burrows it. Rolling a 6 allows you to burrow any of your units after battle, which is a very good ability. And we've got another cheap unit, an Arena Champion, 3 elements, 300-300 units. If you roll a 5, it gains 100 attack. If you roll a 6, it gains 200 attack. So this has the ability to become a 500-300 unit this turn. Next up is the Bandit Knight, a mix of 4 different coloured elements, a 400-400 body. If you roll a 5, your opponent must discard a card. If you roll a 6, you can attach any weapon in play to this unit. So it's a bandit, it can steal weapons. Then we've got Honourable Squire. 3 elements. When it enters, you can search the deck for any weapon, reveal it and put it into your hand. This also goes hand in hand with the Rhaenys cards and Young Alexander. Next up, we've got the Krylisian Hive. It's a wonder, 4 elements. All of your Krylisians cost 1 less to play. Given that the majority of Krylisians only cost 1 element to play, if you can get this out early on, you can save your elements to play action and battle cards instead of playing units. Next up is Memory Leak. It's an action card, common. Basically, 2 elements, you get to look at your opponent's hand. Very basic, however, you know, if you can get this out early on, it gives you a great insight into how you're going to play the game. Next up is Shrine of the Firelord. It's a red wonder, and basically it costs quite a lot of elements to get into play. At the beginning of every turn, you get to deal 200 damage anywhere you like. That can be to a core or a unit in play. Then we've got a royalty rare terrain card, which is called Land of the Immortals. It generates 2 elements of any colour you like. However, at the start of your turn, you must lose 500 health or destroy this terrain. Then next up is a card created by Randomopolis. It's 4 elements. When it enters, your opponent discards a card. It never misses, and it's also got some really good stats, 400-500 body. And then finally, obviously, we need to show you the god summon for this set, which is Gallio, the underworld god. And when this enters, you can your opponent must discard the entire contents of their hand. Alright guys, so that's the video. 15 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed it. We had the podcast the other day. Very fun to chat to a lot of people, see a lot of new faces. If you've got any questions regarding this set, or if you've got any good combos or anything like that, be sure to leave in the comments section below. And that's it, guys. I don't want to make this video any longer, so I shall see you in my next video. I'll see you later.